So this is from match at the fourth 2025 Championship Qualifier. I got to play Joel and won the opening roll. Lucky 5-2 opening roll. Joel replied with a double one, which is an excellent reply. Making a point, and he went with making the bar. Replied with a 4-2, which makes the 4-point, and I did that fairly automatically. Could have looked at anchoring and swell, but that would have not really been that useful to me at that point. It's not that trapped. Joel rolls a 5-1, makes the point, steps up a little bit, roll a 4-1, which is not the best of rolls. Comes down and slides up. Looks like stepping up the back checker would have been a slightly better move to do there. 5-2 gets him down and split. And then looking for something good, and I get a 6-1, which is not something that good. So there's a couple of good things I could do with that. I went with just making the 7-point when I could have hit, and that might have been better for me. 6-1 let him escape and hit, so that was a pretty lucky for Joel. And then a 6-5 I danced. At this point, he could cube me out, but he rolled on and got another 6-5, which is better for him than it was for me. So he brings a couple round, and so I should come in, and I do. Coming in, then you have to decide what to do with the 5, and I went with hitting loose on the ace point, and he went with doubling off of the bar. So this is definitely a good double. It's not an easy take, and I did not find the take here. I'm looking at, I've got 3 back behind a lot of structure. He's got 11 rolls that hit me again off the bar, only 4 rolls that dance. It's not a great situation, so I just let that one go. So that was my first big mistake in the game, but it's should have taken it and tried to fight on. Want to have enough checkers back if I got hit to turn into some kind of back game, but instead I decided, let's see if I can maybe get a little bit luckier on the start of this next one. So let Joel set up the game. I had to run and take care of something, and that kind of interrupted things for a minute. I was back, and we are ready to go with the second game, which I again win the opening roll. So 4-2 is a good start. Better start than 5-2. So Joel rolls a 6-3, chooses to run all the way, which is correct. I get a 4-3, which lets me hit, and then what to do with the second checker. So I think I looked at potentially splitting the back checkers, but instead decided to go ahead and bring a second one down, which is right, but they're fairly close. Joel rolls a 5-3, and so the question is, do you come in on the 5 or come in on the 3? Went with the 3, and then you can bring the 5 down, because if you come in with the 5, you don't really have a good 3 to play. So that's kind of the rationale behind that one. I roll a 3-1, which, frequently here you would want to make the 5-point, but making the 5 is pretty far down the list at this point. So I went with, roughly one of the equivalent ones. As long as you make the 9, you're okay. So then Joel rolls a 6-1. I roll a 2-1, which lets me anchor up, which is excellent. Joel's 3-1 lets him make his 5 points. So good roll for him. You get a 4-2, which doesn't let you do anything super constructive, so it did something that was at least non-destructive. So Joel gets a 6-6, which is a big roll, but not necessarily easy to play, given that he's got sixes blocked on both of his back checkers. He could pop out with one of them, but then has to find somewhere to play the other three. So he goes with kind of moving things around here, looking at things. Roll on, get a double 3, and doubles give you a lot of choices. So here it seemed pretty clear that I want to point on the 3-point. And then I got greedy and went for the second checker as well. So it would have been better to either just make the 3 and the 5, or just point on the 3. But leaving that blot in board came back to bite me, and I danced. So now Joel rolls a 6-1, which lets him cover the blot on his home board and kind of tidy everything up. I dance again. He rolls a 5-4, which does not let him make another point, but he can escape one of his back 2 checkers. He's got his choice as to which one to escape, honestly, so he goes with the correct one. So now I want to enter, and I dance again. So now Joel rolls on. He gets a 5-4. He can escape the other back checker, or he can partially escape it and do something else. So he goes with do something else. So I'm really hoping to enter and dance again. And so Joel picks up the dice, looks at it for a moment, and decides that now is a great time to give me a cube. So I take the cube, and this time I once again decide to pass, and this time I'm not wrong. Like this time, that passing is a good idea. It's pretty bad. So I think at the time what I said was I just danced 3 times in a row. I'm pretty sure that's enough bad luck to, constitute a drop for this game. So on we go to game 3, and Joel wins the opening roll this time. 4-3 is, a reasonable opening roll. So he does a split and down, which is kind of the normal thing. I roll a 5-3, which lets me make the 3-point, and I did that again kind of automatically. He points out that I could have hit him. I could have even hit him twice, and I should have hit him, but I said, yeah, I might have hit you once, and boy, do I regret not doing that. So live and learn. So roll at 5-4, and now I do hit him. So it's a miss that first opportunity, but make up for it on the second one. Would have been a bigger blunder to not hit there. Enters with a 6-5. The 5 is of course forced to come in, and then he's either jump out or bring one down or bring one in. He goes with bring one in, which leaves the fewest possible shots. And then I was briefly interrupted, came back and looked at it, and was thinking, well, I'm down in the match. Why don't I take a chance and double here? But it's not a double. It's things are not bad for me, but they're not that great either. So, and to be punished for it, I do not get to hit that blot on his home board. I do get to make another point, which is good. Joel rolls a 6-1, which lets him make the bar point. So that's a good development for him. And now if I roll an ace, which I don't, so now it's what do? I have to go ahead and run because I'm in threat of being blitzed on that back point. Joel rolls a 5-3. It's really no bad way to play this one. Like all the and pick any two checkers and you're probably doing something good. So he goes with covering and slotting. I get a 6-1, which lets me safety the blot there, but then the 1 is problematic. So the 3-2 is just to do something that can't get hit, because, you know, I'm not bad in the race at this point. Joel rolls a 6-4, which lets him come out and cover the blot. You know, would have been better to just go around the corner, but not big deal. 6-2 lets me make another point on my home board, so I look at covering the 2 and then back it up and make the 4 point. It's pretty close either way. 5-1. So, you know, could and really should safety that last blot, but seems to be thinking about wanting some contact there or something. 6-3, can just play one off the mid. Joel rolls a 4-2, which lets him cover the ace point, which is not bad. So now he's got a 4-point board. I need to be careful to not get hit. 5-4 lets me come down and make another point, so being careful to not leave a shot. 2-1, he finally cleans up that blot. Since I can't seem to roll a 2 anyway, it doesn't really matter. 5-1 lets me cover the 3-point, and then I can cover it even more. So go ahead and put 2 more checkers there. 5-1 gets to play down. And 5-2 now is a little tricky. So I can give up the 8-point, or I can do sort of the pay now move. It's really pretty much equivalent, but unfortunately for me, Joel rolled the perfect number, getting to cover the blot and hit my last checker, and I dance. So things are now in bad shape for me. Joel's now, his mission is to fill in that last point. So he's bringing a checker around to give him more ammo to fill it in. And woohoo, 5-6 is a great shot off of the bar. Things have turned around. I've got this one in the bag now, baby. Except I don't. He enters and hits again. So now I am in trouble again. He's got 2 numbers to cover that blot, the gap on his 5-point. I dance. 2-1 doesn't let him cover, but you know, you can at least kind of tidy things up in case I happen to roll a miracle number. 5-2 comes in, and then coming out would be problematic because then that would give him a double shot at it. It's very hard for him to hit me there. But, you know, he finds a way. So he comes out with the 6 and hits loose with the 3. And now if I can come in with the 5, then I'm in good shape. But I cannot. And if he can cover, which he can, then I am dead. So now my only hope is that I can save the gammon. He rolls double 5s, which lets him move most of his checkers. He's got one last back trapped checker, so I'm hoping he rolls another double 5 or 5-3. 6-2 lets him escape. So now he's in a very good shape indeed. 6-1 just brings it in. But he's odd on the outside, so I've still got a chance. 4-1 lets him get even on the outside, even on the outermost 2 points. 2-1 lets him take another off. He remains with an even checkers on the outside. Double 6 clears a bunch of points, but it should make it easy for me to now save the gammon. All I need to roll is a 5 or a 6. I don't, so bummer. Joel rolls a 4-1, which lets him take one off and stack up there. 6-4 comes in, and then the 4 is a second crossover. It really wouldn't be a big deal the other way. Joel's just ripping a couple off. And now we get into a few tricky rolls. So 4-1. 4 comes in, 1 crosses over, so that one was easy enough. 5-2 takes a couple off, and I need to start thinking about how do I save the gammon here. So with 4-1, what I'm looking for is how do I bring all 3 of those checkers in and then bring another checker off. So what I'm doing is kind of counting how many pips I have outside. So it'll take me 7 pips to bring that checker from the midpoint, and then 4 more to bring the 2 off of the 8 point. So it's 11 pips total to bring my checkers in. And then I'll need another, bit to take one off. So I'm looking to see how can I get doubles to work well. And I'm not seeing a way to make it work well. So with 11 pips outside, then I should be able to get double 4s to work. And so if I play to where I do, double 4s just brings all 3 checkers in, but doesn't take one off. And I could not seem to find the way to make that happen. What I should just do is go ahead and take the crossovers instead. So I could take a crossover and fill in the gap. Then double 4s would bring the back checker 18 to 14 to 10 to 6, 1, 2, 3, and then the 8 brings the last one in. So it would still bring everything in. Still just wouldn't bring anything off, but nothing seems to bring anything off. So, since I couldn't make it work, I was thinking, okay, well, if I just do this, maybe I'll be okay. So Joel rolls double 1s, which takes 2 off and then sets him up to win with anything other than unless he roll, I need big doubles here. I get a 6-1 instead. Start with the crossover, take the crossover back, look at the crossover, take the crossover back, and it's the same kind of a thing. Like, how do I put the checkers so that if he does roll a 2-1, that I can get something to work out for me? So if I bring it down and then fill in the gap, now double 2s or better will work as long as I get another shot. So I need him to roll a 2-1. Nope, he gets a 6-5, wins the match. That is it. Hope you enjoy.